Hello, I'm Ellen,
And I'm Eric.
and this is I Love That. And this is a podcast that we are doing for our son Jack, who is 21 years old now. And we are going through this tales.com. It's a life story interview kit, and it has 150 questions. And we're going to hopefully answer every single one of them.
But we're not being paid by Tails.
Absolutely not, but
we just thought it was a cool idea to videotape ourselves for our son.
Yeah. So, and thank you, Tails, for such great questions because, I mean, we could do this on our own, I guess, but these are such great questions.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're not being paid by them. So, I guess, do you want to get, how do you like my earrings?
They're awesome. I love them, dude.
Okay. All right. You just want to see what you were going to say about them. Okay, what's our next question?
What were your parents like?
Oh boy. That's a good one. Who do you want to go first?
I can go first.
You want to go first? Okay, yeah. Go for it.
Originally, when I was little and was a kid, probably up until 8th grade, my parents were a lot of fun. We went on vacations, and we went to Colorado, and we went to Worlds of Fun, and just we were always having a good time. Really good vacations.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, even when we weren't on vacation, one of us, the neighbors, somebody had their sprinkler going.
Oh, sure.
So the kids could play.
Right.
And
up until 8th grade, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. What happened after 8th grade?
I kind of turned into a dick.
Oh, okay. This question is, what are your parents like?
That's what I'm saying.
So they were sweet to you and really fun up until 8th grade.
Up until I changed.
Oh, yeah. I see. Okay. I get it.
I don't know why. Looking back, I was like, it would have been so damn easy.
Oh, I understand.
Fall in line.
Yeah, I understand. Just teenagers, right? I mean, just dumb teenagers.
Yep.
So stubborn. Want to do it my way. Now I look back and I'm just like so dumb. Right?
Yep. I try to picture what they were thinking.
Right.
But I can't.
Now as you're
their age. Jack was good.
I know. We didn't have to go through any of the hell that we put our parents through.
I know.
Which was so great. I mean, wow. I
don't know what we did, but
oh no. Whatever it is, don't jinx it. I mean, for sure, God gave us a good one.
Yeah, he did.
So anyway, you got to get back to your mom.
He did.
Yeah, you did. Okay, you got to get back to your mom.
Oh, mom. Okay, so mom. Well, both my parents. My mom was fun. She actually was a beautician, and she opened her own shop in Shelby. Between the garage and the house itself, there was an entryway, a breezeway. It used to go all the way through.
Uh-huh.
And they walled that off, put a heater and an air conditioner in there, made it look nice, and that's where her shop was.
Oh, that's cool. How many chairs did she have? Just one?
She had 2 dryers and 1 chair, 1 sink chair.
Nice.
So.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And there were always ladies in. From church, from other churches too. But
the few churches that were in the town.
She was the one. She was the beautician for Shelby, and I think probably Avoca.
Yeah.
Harlan probably had one, but
right.
For everybody, all the farmers and stuff.
Right.
And they came to mom.
That's cool.
So she even had to go to the mortuary and do hair.
Oh no! Yuck.
Yeah.
Did she like doing that?
Nope.
Oh, she didn't. She She told you she didn't?
Yeah, she said it made her a little nervous.
I'll bet. Oh my gosh.
I don't think
creepy.
I don't think it was she was creeped out. It was just like uncomfortable.
Like worried she wasn't going to make him look good, or
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I mean, you're in there with a dead body.
Yeah, I know. Yikes. Not me.
Yeah.
I can barely do a regular old funeral. So what else?
So mom was a stay-at-home mom, basically. She worked in the shop, so she was there when I left, and she was there when I came home from school, and yeah, so it really was. I had a good gig, man, and I totally screwed it up.
Well,
so
that's who we are.
If I didn't, we wouldn't be here.
Right. Exactly. You'd be married to some other person.
Maybe.
Who, yeah, true.
For the third time.
Oh, don't go there. So, but she was good and fun. She was religious too.
Yeah. Yep. She was always involved with church, the choir, the Easter egg hunts, the potlucks. Yeah, she was
community
always into it.
Stuff.
Yeah. And my dad worked a lot. Well, a lot of it was travel time because we lived in Shelby, and he drove all the way into to Omaha to 19th Street, and so that's an hour one way. So he had to leave an hour before he was gone before I got up, and he didn't get home until long after I was home from school. So
you didn't see him that much.
Didn't really see him that much, yeah. But then we did go fishing a lot. So
that's how you guys bonded.
Yeah. There was never a problem between us when we were fishing. So
that's good.
Yeah.
Even after you turned into a problem?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, he would still take me fishing. So
that's nice.
Yeah.
But you still had that, even though there was issues.
Yeah.
That's good.
So I think that's
it.
That's them.
That's them. Do you want to say like where they worked, or besides your mom?
Oh.
What did your dad do for a living? And
Dad, he was an accountant for a company here in Omaha. It was Donnelly Marketing. They were part of Dun and Bradstreet, and they did a lot of. It was a plant basically where they did mailers. So you all those
the trashy mailers that you get.
Yes, they probably printed them.
Nice.
And mailed them out for them.
Yay.
Yeah, exactly. So
great.
Junk mail. That's
junk
what they
mail,
did.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah. But then he had the chance. They were closing the plant down in Omaha. And he had the chance to go to Lincoln or find a new job. And he chose to stay. He chose to stay in Shelby. I suppose just because the support system and moving the kids and blah blah blah.
It's a lot.
Yeah, would have been completely different. I would have grown up in Lincoln.
Yeah,
I'd have been a Husker.
Gross.
But yeah, so he started working he did a bunch of odd jobs for a while. He worked at Kmart as asset protection, I remember.
Right.
And then he started working for the post office. And he worked for the post office till he retired. I don't know, almost 30 years probably.
Oh, wow.
Because I know Mom started before he did, and she retired with 33, I think.
Why did she quit her hairdressing and her beauty salon business?
I think it was just it wasn't making money.
Yeah. just kind of stopped being lucrative.
People start dying off.
Sure.
That's what's killing Shelby now.
Right.
People are dying off and new people are moving in.
Right.
So you don't know your
neighbors.
They're used to not knowing their neighbors.
Right.
So it loses that small town
feel. Yeah. Absolutely. Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah. It is. But what are you going to do?
Yeah. What are you going to do? Well, that's a show.
Yeah.
Anyway, here's Wonderwall. So, well, I guess it's my turn. So, what are my parents like? My mom, Rennie, she went by, Kirby, was super intelligent, super educated. She was a lot of fun. She did a lot of cool stuff for me throughout my life. And when she was good, when things were good with her, things were really good and fun. When things were not good with her and she was in a depression of some sort, things were really dark. So it was a lot to handle as a child and as a teenager, especially because, teenagers are, well, me as a teenager, I was an asshole. Right. So, I know the feeling. So, but so my mom worked at USC at the School of Cinema and then at the School of Geology for 20 years. She stayed at USC so that her children could have free tuition at USC. And one of her children took that and ran with it and did what he was supposed to do.
Right.
And her other child, Moi, did not do that. She instead fucked around and lost that. So it's the only regret I have, I feel like, is not doing that, not taking that adventure. But,
Yeah.
don't know where I'd be, wouldn't be here. So she would take me to school with her during the summer, and I would bring friends or whatever, maybe not bring friends, and just run around the School of Cinema and just visit the professors and go pick out movies and watch them in the big theater all by myself at Norris Theater or with my friends. And I mean, it was just, the best. It was
right.
There was nothing better than roaming around USC all summer, just having the run of the place, basically, because there's very few classes going on.
Right.
So it was just really fun, and I got to go to a lot of first showings of things like Return of the Jedi. I got to see that a few days before it actually came out cinematically because George Lucas brought it to USC first. So, cool stuff like that, right? Also, be working there were other perks that my mom got. Like, she took me to a movie premiere one time it was Francis Ford Coppola movie called One from the Heart. And I was like 13 and just starry eyed. I saw Arnold Schwarzenegger and I wrote about it in my 8th grade journal or whatever it was. So I named every single person that I saw. I can't remember hardly any now, but yeah, it was like one of those crazy things. Her boyfriend, who worked at USC Film School as well, got me Johnny Carson tickets, VIP seats, when Paul McCartney was on, when he brought
Right.
Give My Regards to Broad Street. So, I mean, perks like that were like, yeah. I mean, I can't complain about any of that. And, and then, yeah, I turned into an asshole, when I got 14, 15.
Yeah.
About 15 is where I
started running with the wrong crowd.
absolutely, yeah, just not great.
Yep.
So, but yeah, she worked there for 20 years, and she was super, super fun. For my early on years with her, she was sick a lot. And so it was kind of hard to, it's kind of hard to remember that she was there a lot because I wasn't with her very much. Um, so, but, she took me to my first concerts, my first two concerts. She's Sean Cassidy when I was 10 and 11. So
Sure.
she was awesome. The later years, she was mentally ill. She was mentally ill. She was always in group therapy, and she had a hard life that she just could never get over, and it was difficult living with her. And in the end, it was, she was a big downer. She had a lot of depression, and it wasn't controlled well. She would hide herself out, take her phone off the hook, not answer her cell,
Right.
things like that. So when I was 17, she kicked me out, and I went to go live with my Grammy. So that was that was that. No more of that. But all in all, she was awesome, and she was a pain in the ass. I mean, that's absolutely. Um, John Rapley, my bio dad, short because like I wasn't around him very much. My parents got divorced when I was 3. The only thing I kind of remember are visits for 2 summers, I think, that we had to go and stay with him in Yuma, Arizona. And the visits were very difficult and always ended poorly. He would make me sit and try to eat a whole burger. And it was just, I was tiny. I didn't want to eat anything at that point either. I was going through some hunger strike thing. All I would eat was King Vitamin cereal. It was like Captain Crunch for poor people. But, but, but yeah, I mean, he was abusive mentally, and he was abusive. Um, he was abusive physically. I don't really remember a lot of that. I don't remember any of the real. I remember him slapping me one time so hard he left a mark on my face of his hand. But other than that, I don't really remember any of the abuse, so that's good, I guess. Unless I've shoved it way down, and that's what I'm working with on myself with my therapist. So, you know, trying to dig that out if it's in there. Um, I I got in contact, or he got in contact with me again when I was in my 20s, and he was married to his 4th wife, and he lived in Hemet, California, like up in the San Bernardino Mountains. So I went and stayed with him a couple of times, and we visited here and there, and until one day his 4th wife called me and said that he was in jail for molesting her daughter. So, yeah, super, super upstanding dude. So, never talked to him after that. And he died a few years ago, so I hear. So that's that for him. And then Dave, my second dad, who adopted us after John Rapley gave up his parental rights, he was my favorite. He did everything with me. I remember him on all the vacations, Disneyland, Aspen, um, Santa's Village. He taught me how to fly fish. He taught me how to sail. We had a Sabbath. He taught me how to sail in the bay. Went to the Grand Canyon, and I barely remember my mom at those places because she was always sick. Apparently, she had this appendix burst that no one was monitoring, and it became a big thing when I was away at camp. So, like I would get postcards at camp at Calamigos from my mom, and then all of a sudden I was getting postcards from my dad and not my mom, and I was like, as a 8-year-old, I'm like, whatever, I don't fucking know what's going on. But then when I got home, found out my mom had this burst appendix and almost died. So, like the last trip that we had gone on was to the Grand Canyon, to Jellystone Park, and she was not feeling good. You could see on all the pictures on her face, she just wasn't feeling good. So, and I just remember Dave being with me, and doing the fun, and being fun. He was so fun with me. And that's why when he left in the middle of the night in June 1977, when I was 10 years old, he left in the middle of the night, left me a note, left my mom a note, and just took his stuff and took off. And that broke me in half. I was never the same again. I remember thinking, wow, like, what am I going to do now? Because now I'm here with my mom by myself, and she was a fly off the handle person, and Dave was the calm her down person.
Right.
So, I knew that my buffer zone was gone, and the person who I really loved doing things with was gone, and he just left. No reason, just left. Leaving a note for a 10-year-old is brutal. And I gotta say, it was absolutely brutal, and it broke my heart in a billion pieces. Even when I wrote him a letter when I was 27, before I got married to Steve, wrote him a letter, asked him why he did it. He wrote me back and said he's the only way to get away from my mom. And, who am I to say? I'm an old lady now, so I've been through some shit. I think it was really shitty. I think it was the shittiest thing to do.
Yeah.
But he did what he did, and I gotta be over it, because I can't hold it as a grudge or anything, because it's ridiculous. So, but it was hurtful at the time, for sure.
Yeah.
So that was my family. Long. Sorry about that. Emotions and whatnot. But sorry, we kind of went to a little downer space there. Didn't mean to do that.
Put some happy music in the background.
Yeah, for sure. Let's edit it with happy music for sure. So yeah, I guess that's it for us. So until next time, this has been I Love That. See ya.